Welcome to the American Business Podcast. I'm Kevin Devecioglu, your host. I'm welcoming you episode 172 in the American Business Podcast. We are in Season 6. As you know, we have a great partnership with missionstatements.com, and here is the quote of the day. The greatest people are the ones who have not sought greatness, but served greatly the causes, values, and missions that were much bigger than them. Okay, well, we have a special guest in the American Business Podcast. I'm going to invite our guest to our stage and let's get the conversation started. Hello, Chris.
Hello,
Welcome to
Kevin.
the American Business Podcast.
Thank you very much. I'm excited to be here. Episode 172, right on.
172, and yeah, more to come. So we just started season 6 with the 170th episode. So and we have a great pipeline. So this is very exciting. How are you? How is your week going so far?
It's going fantastically. I think, listen, I think business is just a series of commitments and execution points. And I think today's a wonderful time to be alive with the technology and opportunity that's out there. I'm excited to be sort of showing up every day because there's a little bit of progress every day, 1%.
Yes. I agree with you. I also feel the same, and this is really good. Where are you connecting out of to the American Business
I'm
Podcast?
based out of Milwaukee,
Okay.
Wisconsin.
All
Which
right.
I'm originally from New York, and you're sort of the world. Came out here decades ago, and so I can't really call myself a New Yorker, but you really never lose that part of yourself.
All
Take
right.
New York out of New York, but you can't take New York out of New York.
That is true. Well, it's nice to hear. And the American Business Podcast is a national business podcast. So we have guests from different parts of US, and that is the beauty about our podcast. In addition, we have a very large, also international viewers and listeners. So we truly appreciate these, and that's why I ask where you connected from. That's really great to know, and it's really exciting.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, we love to learn from you today, and I've been waiting for this discussion. If that's okay, let's get started. As a start, would you please introduce yourself and your organization to our listeners and to our
Sure.
viewers?
Hello, everyone. I am Chris Nolte. I'm the founder of Keynote Remote Professionals. Keynote Remote Professionals started 4 years ago. Honestly, by mistake. I met some really talented people out of the Philippines. I couldn't believe how talented they were. I couldn't believe what they cost. And I thought to myself, man, if I only knew this was possible 10 years earlier, I would have built everything differently. And so I started building that company, and that's where my every day is, where I spend all my time.
Yeah, this is definitely good to know. And I talk to many different professionals in different industries. Manufacturing is one of them. Other industries as well. And these talent acquisition, retention. These are always challenges for businesses. So that's definitely good to know. Before I ask you about your career journey, can you tell more about your organization? What makes you different in terms of services that you are offering?
So the business, I as a professional for the last 2 decades, I was a private equity investor and operator. So which meant I bought companies and then hired people to operate them, or sometimes even operated them myself on behalf of investors. And what I always felt is a sense of scarcity. I always felt this sense of scarcity. I didn't have the people I needed, or the talent I needed. And the last time I felt abundance was like New York City decades ago, right? When there was just a tremendous amount of talent and a tremendous amount of resources floating around that city. The city would, like the sorting hat of Harry Potter, tell you who you were and who you're going to become, because the opportunities were everywhere and you just had to go looking for them. Well, I think times have changed, and I think depending on where you live, it's also a bit different. And in Milwaukee, I just felt scarcity. So when I met these group of people that are super talented offshore, I thought, what if I brought this to other private equity firms and operators, portfolio company leaders like I was, and in doing that, I started what is very much like a staffing company. But I then realized that there's a much bigger problem in the world. The bigger problem is if you're living in a third world country and you're truly one of the more talented people, call it top 1% to 3%, you don't have the opportunities you deserve. In that regards, talent is uniformly distributed. There's talent everywhere, but the opportunity isn't. And so what if we created a company in service to the talent, not to the client, but to the talent, knowing that if we cared for them, if we provided support to them, if we created opportunities for them, the client problem would take care of itself. The clients would certainly be happy if the talent was happy. Honestly, I really love this idea. It's a bit like being a talent agent for a professional sports athlete, you know. And so because I can't do that, and someone else has done that already, I do that for people that are just talented in other ways in third world countries. So that's how we show up every day. That's what gets me excited. I cannot tell you, like, my greatest excitement is at the end of the day finding that talented person we met. Like, who do we meet today? Who's awesome? And there's so many great people out there. There's just a lot of friction to find them.
Well, we love to learn about your career journey. How did you get started? How your career journey has unfolded over the years?
Yeah. So it started back in New York City, and I was doing M&A for banks. And that was 100-hour work weeks and somewhat soulless. I specifically remember coming back from my honeymoon and then disappearing for like 2 weeks. Sorry, honey, I have to go do this deal, this $33 billion deal. So like that's the M&A investment banking world. I wanted out of that. It was just too much. So I went to business school, and my theory, 9/11 was my first day of grad school. I went to Kellogg School of Business, Kellogg School of Management out of Northwestern. And first day of school was 9/11. And so that really colored people's perspectives about what was possible with their career. Opportunities just weren't as readily available as they were. You were not getting multiple job offers. You might have gotten one. But you had to really decide who you're going to be when you grew up at that moment, because you're competing in a way that you otherwise wouldn't have had to. And I decided I was going to go into real estate so I could go into private equity. My father ran a plumbing company. I was a plumber's son. I was sort of like in New York City doing plumbing work with my father and his team. And I thought, well, my father bought some buildings in Manhattan. This is a really good end game for him. I'm going to make his end game my middle game, and I'm going to go into the business of real estate. And then every day I'm working in real estate, I'm going to learn to work for myself. And this is how I'm going to be an independent entrepreneur and sort of build value for myself and my family. That's actually what ended up happening. I graduated from Kellogg, went to work for a family out of Milwaukee. They started their public company. They're the third largest movie theater circuit in the country and a very large hotelier. I was director of real estate, but I also ended up being head of strategy, head of cash management, because I was the only MBA of a public company of thousands of people. Fast forward 3 years later, we did a special liquidating dividend after selling a part of a business, and then I started their family office. So at the age of 32, a babe in the womb, I was running an investment firm with one of the other family members. And we made a lot of mistakes and learned a lot. But after doing that for 17 years and buying companies and building companies, I wanted to do it for myself. And so Kayana Remote Professionals is very much one of those, is a portfolio company started by myself and my family members to build sort of value and capability, and also a launching pad to buy other companies and reimagine them as the world changes. So that's the career journey.
Okay.
But I think there's a thread, which is private ownership and operations.
What is the secret of your success?
There really isn't a secret of success, but I think that, and what I tell younger people is I say, go to places like New York City and San Francisco and Dallas, where there's a lot of potential and where the machine is going to consume your talent and your skill and grow you because it's self-interested, right? And it's going to hurt. It's like going to the gym, but in building those muscles, you're going to learn a lot, and you're going to learn what you can. It's like what's possible and what you can achieve, so that if you decide to dial it down, no problem, everything gets easy. If in fact you go the opposite way and you start easy, you might never do the hard work necessary to see what's possible, or you may show up too late. And so that would be, I would recommend that was sort of, if that's the secret, the secret's going to places that want to consume your talent. That would be my greatest secret. Other than that, I think don't be afraid to take risks. Very few, Jeff Bezos talks about it as sort of a two-way decision.
Mhm.
There's very few one-way decisions. Once you get into the working world, you can always go in a different direction if something's not working. And a lot of people, I think, make decisions as if they're permanent, and that's just not true.
What is the state of your industry, if you can share some insights with us?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question, because in a lot of ways, our company operates within the future of work, right? And there's a lot of people that are self-proclaimed experts in the future of work, and there's a lot of sort of professionals that think about this problem every single day. But when it comes to remote talent, what's happening is large corporations don't outsource anymore. Okay, what they do is they hire large populations of people as employees all around the globe. So, for example, JP Morgan Chase has 45,000 employees in India. Okay, these are not call center employees. They might be some of them, but a lot of them are very sophisticated, highly talented, skilled engineers, designers, underwriters, project managers, and that's probably happening to all the Fortune 500. I mean, every Fortune 500 company no longer outsources, because offshore is onshore somewhere else.
Mhm.
What's happened, though, is in the middle market, who don't have the scale to hire 100, 1,000 people in another country and to manage them, they go without. And because they are going without, and because they are dealing with scarcity, they are forced to cope. And so the real opportunity in our industry, I think, is to create what I'll call corporate levels, like scaled solutions for lower middle market or middle market companies, so they can access global talent and really realize the possibilities of remote workforces and talent pools, because those pools of talent are very motivated and very efficient. And that's, I think, somewhere between a 6 and 8 times lever over sort of domestic talent.
Well, we have popular subject in the American Business Podcast, and that's AI. How do you see the impact of AI on business nowadays?
Well, let me first of all, it is, I was a programmer when I was 6, and this is like a dream come true, because now suddenly I can understand the concepts of programming, but really know nothing about the underlying technology in program like no tomorrow. I mean, that is phenomenal. That is incredible. But it's going to change everything. And I know that sounds dramatic, and I know people are tired of hearing it. But we're on the very beginning of this, of basically a revolution on how and where work gets done. And What's affected our business, I think, very positively, is that there's always been a perception that domestic labor was like this value, and that offshore talent was this. But when you add AI to both of these things, they're imperceptibly different in terms of their output, which exposes the underlying cost structures of those two things. And so for us, for anyone that has a gap of understanding or knowledge or language or whatever, suddenly those gaps are filled. We are all more complete people because we have a limitless resource and cognition sitting right next to us. And so we often tell the people that we work with, look, if you don't know something, first of all, transcribe every meeting you're in, because the content and context are critical, right? And then beyond there, just be very curious, because the tool allows you to solve problems and see things in ways that people 2 times more skilled than you could only a year ago, 3 years ago. So it's really a limitless pool of value, and it's limited by your imagination, and you're willing to take risks to learn. There's a lot of people waiting around for a solution for them, and I think by the time that solution presents itself, every one of their competitors would have solved the problem, and they will be left behind. I really believe that. So there's never a bad time to start.
Well, as a business leader, what are the best marketing practices for the highest ROI nowadays?
I think it's changing every day, in the sense that there's so much automated marketing execution going on, and it's kind of obvious that the thing that I think is most successful is authenticity. And authenticity doesn't scale well. So I myself, in the way I'm marketing, I'm doing dinners, meetups, places where I can get legitimate people in a room to experience me and experience the people around them, so that they understand that this is not some cold call, And I think being able to build value that way, I think is really critically important. I wouldn't want to be in B2C for that reason, because I think it's a bit more fickle. So B2B sales is sort of what I'm talking about now. B2C is going to be tough. B2C is going to be tough, and I think that's one in social media. I don't think that's one in on Google anymore. So I think that's the most efficient tool. I also think content platforms are very productive. I don't think that's changed, but the quality of the content has to be good to make that work.
Leadership. How would you define leadership, and what are the great leadership qualities a good leader must have?
Yeah, I think so. I think leadership is critical. And, if I was an employee of a company and I didn't think my leadership was good, that would be a problem. That would be a time to be thinking about where you're spending your time, because leadership, the difference between a company with good leadership and a company without good leadership is so different, and the outcomes are so different, that you should be betting on the companies with good leadership. What that means to me is vision. It means about understanding where the game is going and positioning the company to be ready to take advantage of that opportunity. I think it's also accountability, in the sense that if you have a vision and you can't hold people accountable to reaching that vision, or you don't see accountability as a tool in your tool chest, that's a problem. Because people will do what they're allowed to do, not what you want them to do, typically. The other thing too is you have to have some charisma, because no leader can do this on their own. They have to surround themselves with other great leaders. And other great leaders don't want to be a part of an organization where the people they're working with don't inspire them, don't create great vision for them. And, I think what's interesting in our world today, we get to see and experience leadership at a lot of different companies because of social media and that sort of thing. And so I think, like, love him or hate him, Elon Musk is a very good leader. He makes very hard decisions, but I think he inspires great people to do incredible things. It's not all coming from him. I think he's critical in it. I think the way he's shaping leadership is very interesting. But you can't scale without good leadership. You just can't. So oftentimes leaders get caught in this idea that they have to perform the work. And that's just a failure of another kind.
Okay, well, let's talk about role models. Have you had any role models, any mentors who help you shape your career journey over the years?
Yeah. I think, I'm very much an idea person and an investor. I have an investor mindset. And the people that made the most difference for me, I never met. Okay. But there are two guys, and you probably know who they are, Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett. And I would go to their annual meeting in Omaha and listen to these guys talk for 5 hours about business and wisdom. And of course, all this stuff is still recorded and you can read all the books about it. But I really value, like, business wisdom and seeing things differently and being right. And these guys did it time after time after time for decades. And it showed up in their investment returns. And as a role model, for me, that meant the most, because I really felt like they were training me on a lot of different ways. And they didn't think they were talking to me. They didn't even know I existed. But it spoke. I felt like they were speaking to me. And I think that really made a difference. There have been other people that have influenced my career in other ways, but those are the people from a thinking perspective, from a strategic perspective, really made the most difference.
Yes, I also love their humility.
Right.
So down to earth, so modest, and they share their insights. That's
right.
That's very impressive.
It's exceptional.
And it's hard to do when you think about, like, all these ego, like, you get all the money, power, right? I mean, it's really not easy to do for someone to be that having the humility and connecting. That is also a great virtue in a way.
Yeah, it is. But either you have or you don't. And I think they wouldn't be who they are if they didn't have that quality.
Yes.
Right? Because they would have thought they knew it already, and they wouldn't have been as curious. They would have stopped being curious, and they never stopped being curious. And I think that is awesome. That is just lovely. And we were so lucky. I mean, Warren's still alive, but he's definitely looking a little bit. He's really taking on a number of years quickly here. He's had a good run. We've been very lucky. We've been very lucky to have people like that. Absolutely. And I do think they're a new guard coming up. I think it's just a matter of time before we see them or experience them, or it might not be an investor. It might be Magnus Carlsen, depending on your interest.
Yes. I mean, that's the beauty of the American business, actually. The innovation, the leadership, the entrepreneurship, that spirit is unbeatable and exemplary in the world. And that's one of our forte in a way.
It's something that we've relied on for a really long time. I don't think it's as unreproducible as everyone else does. And I think that's a trap. I think that as a country, where you think we're untouchable, and we realize now that, wow, we are totally untouchable. In fact, we can have a decade-long lead on AI, and China can close the gap in 5 years. So none of this is easy to do.
Yes. Competition is on. That's for sure.
The competition's on, and
yes,
and ideas are fungible. Execution isn't. And I would say that we're losing our step when it comes to execution. I think there are people out in the world that are hungrier and want it more, and they're less comfortable, and they don't remember ever being comfortable. I think Jensen Huang talks about this. Like, I hope you dealt with significant adversity as a child, so that you can be ready to go and sort of win in today's environment. Anyway, so I hear you. I agree with you, and I want to believe all that stuff, but I think we can't be complacent. I think we have to find America from 80, 100 years ago to kind of replay that playbook of hard knocks and entrepreneurship and taking risks and creativity and also looking at our workforce and realizing that having everyone as a knowledge worker isn't the best strategy. Like, we need people that actually do things, machinists and people that can create that supply chain so that we can build products here, not somewhere else.
Absolutely. I'm actually very close to American manufacturing as an industry, and I see it, the need for talent acquisition, retention, and just like you mentioned, like the machinists, as simple as CNC machine operators, like they are looking for those experts, machinists, and not easy. There's not plenty. No. So there's a shortage, that's for sure, in terms of finding the talent for manufacturing. And manufacturing is important. And in recent years, it became even more important with defense and other industries, especially. And that's a challenge. Absolutely, the talent is a challenge in US. That's that's a reality.
Well, in the United States, there's more opportunity than there is talent. And in other places in the world, there's more talent than there's opportunity.
Yes, I agree.
That's the game that needs to be played. And that's the game that I think people have to figure out. That's what I spend like every day going. In fact, Kevin, I might not have told this to you earlier, but I'm about to publish a book called Operational Alpha.
Okay. Tell us about it. We love books. We love books in the American Business Podcast. Please tell us about it.
So Operational Alpha is a book about making remote talent work. And I think a lot of people haven't figured that game out, but it comes back to what I'll call the interface age. And that is, I believe that companies that design the interface to remote talent, their interface to AI, their interface to their partners, and their interface to their clients are the ones that are going to win. These are the businesses that are going to be easy to do business with. They're going to move fast and efficiently. But you have to be very intentional about that. It can't be a manual process. It can't be happening around water coolers. It can't be walking the halls and managing people that way and using the invisible operating system of the office to do it. It's about intentionality. It's something that's about business design. And so in the book where we talk about remote talent, we talk about the interfaces that are necessary to make that work. And I think that there's going to be interfaces, and my next book will be about interfaces to AI, but to think about how those components can be used and leveraged. Because right now, like the easy win is remote talent. The next harder win is going to be AI. And then I think simultaneously, they should be all thinking about how they can be be easier to do business with. And that is sort of like their partners and their clients. I think that's where it's going to sort of play out. So I'm excited for that book because I don't think there's much anything like it. And it's built out of our in Kayano. So there's no theory to it. It is actually a field book, a practicum of how to do it. And I have to say, there is it hurt us to learn the things we had to learn to write the book. And we're basically selling the book and basically all this learnings, but it's the right thing to do. And I think my hope is that people will pick it up and the industry will change. They'll think differently about how to engineer their own businesses. So.
I think that's great. When the book is on, please, let's stay in touch and maybe we can have another episode together and we can talk about the book more in detail and some of
Yeah.
your ideas. That'd be great. And to your point, that's also reality. I mean, times are changing. The workplace is changing. The future of work is changing, as you mentioned earlier. So that's that constant evolution. That's evolving and changing. And managing a team, a remote team, is not same as managing a team on site. These are just two different dynamics completely. And I'm sure your book will be really helpful in that sense with your insights.
Yeah. Like you said, it's a very interesting time. And what's amazing is how few people really understand what's possible. I mean, I think that's the biggest challenge in life, is understanding what's possible. Because if we knew it was possible, we'd just go do it. It would be like going to a restaurant and picking something off a menu. The problem is we go to the restaurant and there's no menu. We only see what we know, right?
Yes.
And so, and unfortunately, that's become my job, is evangelizing for what's possible in the world of remote talent. So I feel good about it because I'm helping people. The people we have as part of our team are thankful and excited to be a part of it. And the clients win by default. It's sort of it's an opportunity to do well and do good.
Yeah, this is great to have this conversation in the American Business Podcast. It's very relevant, and remote work is here, and it just became permanent, right? After COVID. I mean, there was always in technology we had it, so we always had these remote meetings in technology industry ourselves, but it was mostly within the industry. So when you take it to other industries, they were struggling in terms of having these conversations before COVID. COVID changed everything. So I remember having a lot of flights and trips just to make a demonstration of a business software, right? They have an initial conversation maybe on the phone or just very lightly via one of the tools that available at that time. But then just to have the conversation, they just like, you just gotta come here, just come. I mean, there is no guarantee you're gonna close the deal, but if you like to have this conversation, here I am. Please come visit me. Then you just hop on the plane and then just go hours. With COVID, that completely changed. I mean, from that business model to closing the deals on Teams and other Zoom and other tools, like everything changed all of a sudden. I mean, if there is one good thing about COVID, it was very sad, and we all had hard time, and it was horrible at the time. But if there is only one good thing, we just learned how to work remotely. I mean, utilizing technology, really. I mean, that's the only thing I see that we really learn in terms of all of it.
With manufacturers today, we place mechanical engineers, electrical engineers, project managers, CPAs, all sorts of very skilled, licensed human beings, and they're working 8,000 miles away during the same time zone of their client. And I have people calling me from all around the world, in Africa and South America, Central America, wanting to be a part of our organization as the talent. And which just goes to show you that there's so much talent out there, and just they don't have an opportunistic outlet for it. They don't have the opportunity that they want, depending on where they live or what have you. But because they're on the internet, because they have broadband, however they get it, they now are part of the world. And now that they have AI tools, well, it's the great leveler. It's quite remarkable. I think when people start really building out their agents and their systems of AI, then it really becomes something remarkable. I started working with Claude Cowork recently. I had 20 systems, and as an analyst, I'm an analyst by trade, and suddenly I'm connected to all of my data, and I can talk to it. And the insights into that are just extraordinary. It really is amazing. And so any company that's not sort of reimagining itself right now, I feel for, because that's going to be a lot of pain that they're going to have to face in the future.
Okay, well, we have a little tradition in the American Business Podcast. I have a question for you coming from our previous guest. And after that, I'll ask you to leave me a question. In this episode, I'll take your question and ask to our common guest.
This is like a stress moment. This is like when I have to focus up. All right, go
ahead.
All
right, let's do it. Okay, so the question from our previous guest is, as a child growing up, what was one experience that you had that helped form you to be the person today?
Yeah. I think so. I was a Boy Scout. I ended up being an Eagle Scout, and to become an Eagle Scout, you have to finish an Eagle project. And the Eagle project that I was working on was there was a cemetery in town that had become very dilapidated, and we went in and fixed it. We improved it. We made it better. There were headstones that were broken. We used hydraulic cement and sort of reassembled the headstones. We cleaned the place up, and that project then changed the way people thought about that cemetery. And for the last 30 years, it has been maintained. I don't know how, I don't know by who and how, but because I kind of created that spark and showed people what was possible, for the last 30 years, someone has stewarded that in a good and important way. I think we all have that moment and opportunity to find that spark for yourself and others. And I think if you do something important, I think it probably will sort of outlast you. And I think that would be sort of my that project, that moment, that sort of realization. And now even looking back 30 years, I think it means a lot to me. Yeah. So that would be it. That would be the answer.
And what is your question for the next guest in the American Business Podcast?
Interesting. So, do you trust? What are the limits of your trust on AI?
Okay, that's a great question. And we'll make sure to ask.
All right.
This is great. Yes, and AI is a popular subject, and there's always it's always a great conversation with AI.
Trust, as it relates to trust and how much they actually trust it, and when, and what would cause them to change that threshold for trust.
Okay, we'll make sure to ask that question. Yes. Okay, well, in this part of the episode in the American Business Podcast, is there any question that you would like to ask me?
So many, Kevin. So, you do work in a field that's close to my heart, in the sense that you're involved in software and software automation.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, software industry is changing dramatically. I mean, I could turn this entire podcast back on you, and it will be a fascinating podcast, I'm certain. There's a lot of change.
Yeah, we can save it for part 2. Those details.
Well, my question to you is then, Kevin, where is the opportunity in software today, as you see it, given what's happening to the bigs, HubSpot, Salesforce? They're getting crushed in the marketplace. What does that mean? And what would you be thinking, or what are you thinking at this time?
Mm-hmm. Yes, well, that's a great point. And with the impact of AI, the software industry is changing in terms of coding and creating the algorithms and the business model overall. So it changes. So at the moment, at least right now, still businesses, they need specialized solutions, and they need to be put together. And also the thing about software is you don't create it once. It's not just once you create it and it's going to work forever. It evolves just like a living organism. So it needs to be taken care of. Okay. So in this creation process, AI tools like Cloud, for example, being used actively right now. So you can really create it, that's for sure. Taking care of this software solution, updating it, customizing it, understanding the client's requirements and reflecting it on the coding as a product is still the missing part. And that is for the seniors. That's for the experienced ones. I mean, for entry-level professionals, you cannot expect them to do this because it really requires experience. You need to understand, ask the right questions, and then reflect it on the product. So the industry is evolving. There is no doubt about it. At the moment, AI is a game changer, and what we are seeing right now in the industry is everyone is using it in some capacity, and it'll just be more and more in moving forward. the client relationship and understanding their requirements, business expectations, pain points, and challenges are still on humans. That's not going to change anytime soon.
Yeah.
So we still need that human touch between the AI machine, as a production center, however you like to position it, and between the customer, maybe the consumer, maybe the business organization or corporation. We still need humans there. So this is where we are right now. But then just overall, in terms of addressing those challenges and creating those solutions, that really speed up and reduce the cost of production. That's for sure.
Well, I'm going to ask you one follow-up that's very close to my heart. So my children are now thinking about going into careers in computer science.
Okay.
Because obviously it's very exciting. But yet, if you look at what people are talking about, it almost feels like the education would be worthless, because now people are vibe coding and they don't need to know the technicals.
Mm-hmm.
Would you advise people to go into computer science? And or not, how would we create computer science degree that people should actually take?
That's $1 million question. That's a really good question. Yes, because what you just mentioned is actually really is the information that we get from the registrations and enrolling in universities. So the computer science enrolling is just dipping. And that's the reality. So just your question is spot on. This is a real question, and we need to also think about it. So, I mean, I don't have the answer. I really don't know. My guess is right now, what would I do? What would I tell my child if I am to, talk about this? I will say, learn computer science, I will say, but get a degree that you'll really engage with people. Like you'll have the interactions, but understand the logic behind it in terms of how the coding is running, what the syntax is, what the algorithm is really. And then the rest is really just because those tools are just going to get better and better. I mean, that's it's just unbelievable what they can do. They still have limits though. Yes. See, like if you are a real, serious software company, you're gonna just push their limits, and they just get stuck sometimes. We experience it ourselves. I was talking to my colleagues. They're like, cloud. I mean, they got stuck. Those tools that you use, whichever that is, they just get stuck sometimes. Like they have also limits, but they just get bigger, better, and better. I mean, they're not going. They're getting just better. I mean, that's for sure. Yeah. So these are really interesting times, and we didn't talk about these 7 years ago, 5 years ago, not at all. You were on your own when you were coding. I mean, you had to have the team, 20 people, 40 people, had the team member, team leader. That was so really everything changed. These are amazing times that we are seeing this. So to address your question, I don't have the answer. We really don't know what really is gonna be. But I will say at least in the short term and the mid term, the human relations and facing humans in terms of different capacities, services, customer service, or discoveries or consulting will be very important and needed. That's what I'm seeing. And until robots come, those that you mentioned about the electricians, plumbers, we need them. We need many of them. Yeah. And robots are not coming anytime soon to address those. It's not going to be soon. So that's another important point that we need to think about in terms of education.
In formats like this, whenever you state a claim, you have to almost always add right now at the end. This is not going to happen, blah, 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 right now. Like here, we have some limitations, but right now, because it's changing so quickly.
So quickly. That is true. And we saw the internet times, right? The internet evolution. When it came, it was also changing, but not this pace. This pace is something else. This is in a different scale.
And the quality, like the monetization of the output is value. It's, the factory, the token factories that are being created have value in ways that computers never did. Computers were warehousing operations before. They retrieved documents, they displayed documents. Now what you have is factories of compute, and that is just amazing. So
yes, okay. I'm going to go to my next question, which is also very important. We talk about next generation, you asked me, and
Sure.
that was actually my next question to you. And I'm glad that we talk about this. So from your point of view, how next generation professionals, they should prepare themselves? Any career advice for them?
Yeah, I think that we all have to be creators. This is something that I've been telling my kids for as long as they've been playing Roblox. I'm like, you're playing this game and all you're doing is consuming something else, someone else's product. You have to learn how to create for yourself. You just have to. And there's so much trepidation for people in doing that. I'm hoping that AI tools today open up that doorway to show people that they can use their domain experience or expertise or their passion or their insight to build unique value. And I think you have to be willing to fail to do that. So if I was giving advice to people that wanted to be leaders in business, that would be my suggestion is don't be afraid to take risks. Recognize the choices you're making are not one-way doors. They're two-way doors. You can kind of always reverse it and go in a different direction. Oftentimes I tell people that in their 20s, they're going to screw up. In their 30s, they're going to learn a trade. In their 40s, they're going to collect checks. In their 40s, they're going to make money. In the 50s, they're going to collect checks. Now I'm in my 50s now, and I'm still not quite on schedule. But the point is that you don't have to. I think the younger people today think that are afraid to make a mistake. I don't know if it's because they experience ridicule on social media. Don't do this because then someone's going to think that of you, and then they're going to post it. Or they're afraid in general because of the fear mongering that we've sort of spread throughout our society. But that is it's not very constructive for someone who's trying to learn. In fact, at Kayana, no joke, I give people 5 rules about how to succeed, hacks, how to win at Kayana. And rule number 2 is you're going to fail. Because I don't want people to be afraid to fail, because that's how you learn. It's how you learn. It's how you've learned. I'm sure you can be thinking back to those mistakes you made and you're like, don't go over there. Don't make this left turn. Don't make that right turn. I did the same thing. It's just when you're young, you think that everyone that won only chose correctly. And that's just, of course, not true. So.
For those who like to learn about Kayana and get in touch with you, what is the best way to contact you?
Yeah. The best way to find us is at hirekayana.com, HIREKAYANA. Kayana as a name is a mashup of Tagalog, kaya meaning can do, na meaning now. You can do it now at Kayana. So at hirekayana.com, you can find us there. You can also find me on LinkedIn, Christopher Nolte on LinkedIn, and I talk about thought leadership in and around the talent space. So hope you can find us there. And if nothing else, I also have a podcast, and that podcast is called As the Deal Turns. It's the human side of private equity. For people that are looking to get into private equity to understand it, I tell the stories behind the deals. And I think that can be also very interesting for them.
Absolutely. And we have Podcast and Plus networking event last Friday of every month. I'll also make sure to invite you.
Oh, wow.
You are more than welcome to join us and also meet with other professionals as well. So that'll be great. My pleasure. Chris, thank you so much for being with us in your busy schedule, and thank you for sharing your professional insights and wisdom with us in the American Business Podcast.
My pleasure. This is a moment in time for me. You've done incredible things, and I can't wait to see how this explodes. I think it's the format's fantastic, and I love being on the show.
I appreciate it. And more to come. Right. So we'll definitely stay in touch. Thank you so much, Chris. Have a great day.
Take care.
And to our listeners and to our viewers, thank you very much for listening. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And what do you like? And what do you think about these subjects that we talk about? What department to choose when you are enrolling in university nowadays? What is your take on AI? Please share your thoughts in our YouTube channel, in our social media channel. Put your comments in the chat box. We love to hear from you. If you haven't done so, please subscribe and support us. This is really important and very helpful to our podcast, the American Business Podcast. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll be right back after a short break. Support for the show comes from Yelp. You know, I've been talking to more than 100 business owners in the American Business Podcast. Do you know the biggest problem for small businesses nowadays? It is visibility. That is why you should sign up and list your business on Yelp for Business. I have the QR code on the screen, and when you scan the QR code, the form will show up on your screen and you can sign up on the registration form. It comes with free trial with no obligation. Make it easy for your customers to find you. Do you know there are more than 70 million customers visiting Yelp website looking for services from businesses just like yours? Restaurants, home services, professional services, and many other businesses are being searched on Yelp on daily basis. That's a great opportunity. If you list your business on Yelp, you'll be findable, searchable, and you'll be visible. When you are visible, when your customers are able to find you, you're in business. You can get opportunities, you can get leads, you can build a healthy and profitable pipeline. Consider Yelp for Business. Scan the QR code, sign up, and start your free trial. It comes with free trial. Very comfortable, no obligation. List your business and start getting the results and enjoy the benefits of Yelp Business. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Reddit. Do you know the biggest challenge nowadays for American small businesses? That is visibility. That's why we partner with Reddit for Business. There are more than 440 million visitors weekly on Reddit. Furthermore, Reddit is reliable and millions of users are going to Reddit to get the real feedback from real people. It is the number one source for real reviews on products, services, and brands. There is a promotion going on that I'd like you to consider and take advantage of. When you spend $500 on Reddit for advertising, you'll get $500 in advertising credit. True story. I am a Reddit user, and anytime I like to have feedback or review for a product or service, I go to Reddit and I talk to Reddit communities. I get the real feedback and real review from real people and real communities. Scan this QR code and sign up for Reddit advertising. Get the visibility for your company, for your products and services on Reddit with Reddit advertising. Reach people ready to buy your products and services with Reddit advertising. Scan the QR code and sign up today. Thank you for your support. Would you like to listen to music during your work time? We are here to help. We created ABP Office Music Pod, powered by the American Business Podcast. ABP Office Music Pod is for you, the working professional. You can enjoy jazz, lo-fi, smooth jazz, classic music, and more during your work time. We keep the music positive and energetic. You can go to the YouTube channel of the American Business Podcast, or you can scan this QR code and start listening right away. There is more coming in the American Business Podcast, and this is one of them. Enjoy ABP Office Music Pod during your work time, and thank you very much for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Otter AI. Otter is the AI note taker that builds your knowledge and powers your workflow with transcription, automated summaries, AI chat, and more. Get your AI-powered assistant for meeting notes, tasks, and more. Scan the QR code on the screen and sign up today. Otter AI is the latest note taker that you can utilize, and you can set your meetings, You can take your notes, and you can also set up your follow-up actions automatically with the help of the other AI. Scan the QR code and sign up today. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Gemini Trust. Gemini makes crypto simple. Find, trade, and buy over 70 different coins, including Bitcoin and Solana, on the best cryptocurrency platform. Gemini Trust. Start trading crypto here. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code and start signing up today. Because they have a great customer service, you can reach out to them and get assistance 24/7. Scan the QR code and start trading crypto on Gemini. Thank you for your support. It is time to sign up for the online monthly networking event. Networking and podcasting together. It is called Connection America Business Alliance, partnered and powered by the American Business Podcast. During this unique business networking event, you'll be able to meet with other business professionals. At the same time, you will be in the American Business Podcast in front of thousands of business-minded YouTube subscribers, viewers, and listeners of the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business. Connection America online monthly networking events are interactive. You'll be able to meet with other seasoned business professionals, and at the same time, you'll be able to interact with viewers and audience. That's a unique event. It is because it's podcasting plus networking. If you are in business, you should be networking. And if you're not networking, you are losing business every single day. That is why we created online monthly networking event called Connection America Business Alliance, CABA in short. Scan this QR code and sign up today. When you scan the QR code, you'll see the list of coming monthly online networking events. Pick the one that works for you and sign up. We have limited seating, and today is the great day to sign up for online business networking event. Networking plus podcasting. That is a unique online business networking opportunity. You can introduce yourself, your products and services, and you'll be able to network with other business professionals live on the American Business Podcast. Scan the QR code and sign up today. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Thank you for your support. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Anywhere Apps. Anywhere Apps are business software systems. They are designed to help you digitize and automate your business processes. Today, I like to focus on quality management anywhere. Are you compliant with ISO 9001? Are you compliant with AS 9100? Or maybe you are in medical device industry and you are compliant with ISO 13485. No matter what compliance requirement that you have at your organization, Quality Management Anywhere is designed to help you digitally comply those requirements. It comes with ready-made quality document management module, corrective action module, continuous improvement module, customer complaint management module, audit management module, instant management module, and many other modules that you can utilize for your compliance needs. Because the system is cloud-based, you can access it from anywhere. It also has installation capabilities. If you are in aerospace industry, defense industry, and this software needs to be on your private cloud or on your private server on premises, there is also a deployment option for your organization. It is designed for quality management and compliance management by quality management and compliance management experts. I have the QR code on the screen. You can scan the QR code to learn more about quality management anywhere, as well as Anywhere Apps in general. There is more. I also have a direct line, kevin@kerconsulting.com. You can send me a direct email for your questions and or schedule a demo for Anywhere Apps, Quality Management Anywhere, and I'll be happy to assist you in this process. Thank you very much for your support. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from YZ. At the American Business Podcast, we always talk about continuous improvement and professional development. That is why we partner with YZ, trust the nation's largest network for tutoring. YZ helps you find the tutor that you need in many different subjects: chemistry, computer, foreign languages, geometry, English, music, physics, reading, SAP, science, and many more. I have the QR code on the screen that you can sign up and start searching for tutors and enjoy the learning experience and continuous improvement as we always talk about in the American Business Podcast. Scan the QR code and sign up for YZ today. Thank you very much. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Just Answer. Real help from real experts 24/7. Experts such as lawyers, doctors, veterinarians, computer technicians, home improvement experts, mechanics, personal tax experts, computer technicians, and many other experts are available for you 24/7 on Just Answer. You'll get your answers anytime, during the day, during the night, 24/7, and you'll get your answers from reliable sources. You can scan the QR code on the screen and you can sign up for Just Answer. The answers you need at a price that is right. Scan the QR code and sign up for Just Answer today. Thank you for your support. Support for the show comes from DocuSign. DocuSign is the latest, modern, cloud-based digital electronic signature software system. You can sign your vendor contracts, customer contracts, NDAs, and any type of contracts digitally with no need of local installation or no need of keeping your documents on your laptop or your mobile device. Furthermore, DocuSign is equipped with intelligent agreement management that helps you digitize and automate your repeating contracts, whether that's a supplier contract, customer contract, NDA, and legal documents. I have the QR code on the screen to sign up for DocuSign subscription right now. It comes with a free trial, with no obligation. You can digitize and automate your contract management and document management processes starting today. True story. I also use DocuSign regularly and it works very smooth. Highly recommended. You see the QR code on the screen. Scan the QR code. It'll take you to their website. Sign up today, start the free trial, and join the team, and enjoy the DocuSign features and benefits. Thank you very much. Support for the American Business Podcast comes from Invicta. Invicta is known for its stylish watches, both for men and women. Invicta is offering unisex watches as well. I have a confession. I am an Invicta fan and I've been using Invicta watches for many years. This one is 57mm Invicta watch, automatic. Because it's black color, it goes well with my business outfit. And because it's automatic, I don't need batteries for my watch. It gets the energy by me just moving the watch from my wrist. So it creates energy and it can go pretty much non-stop. I have the QR code on the screen, and when you scan the QR code, you'll be able to see the Invicta watch collection. And you can pick the one that you like based on the color, style, and technology. Please scan the QR code, start shopping today, and join me using Invicta. I'm sure you'll like it. Thank you very much for your support. Would you like to start your business podcast? We are here to help. My name is Kevin Devecioglu. I am the founder and host of the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business. When we started the American Business Podcast on February 28, 2025, we had only one mission in mind: to promote, support, and uplift American businesses, nonprofits, manufacturers, and the American business community. Within our first 6 months, we managed to pass 100,000 YouTube subscribers, and we received YouTube Silver Award. This is an important award. It shows our dedication to American business and to the American Business Podcast viewers, subscribers, and American Business Podcast community. Now you can have your own branded company podcast within the American Business Podcast network. You can promote your company, your products, your services, and you'll have instant visibility in front of thousands of the American Business Podcast viewers, subscribers, and followers. You can promote your company, your products and services. You can educate and inspire businesses and individuals. More importantly, you can tell your story, your brand story. How did you get started? What makes you different? And how you are helping your customers and communities. As you know, in the American Business Podcast, I've been talking to more than 100 American businesses. Each business has a story that is inspiring and motivational. I know your business also has a great story which is motivational and inspiring. It is time for you to have your business podcast within the American Business Podcast network. We help you start your business podcast and we help you grow your business. This is a great opportunity for you to be visible in the marketplace in front of thousands of the American Business Podcast viewers and subscribers. And this is a great opportunity for us to fulfill our mission to promote, support, and uplift American businesses. Please send us an email and let's get the conversation started. It is paas@americanpodcast.tv. Business podcasting as a service, powered by the American Business Podcast, the voice of American business. The American Business Podcast is America's fastest growing educational business podcast network in this age of AI. My name is Kevin Devecioglu. I'm the founder and host of the American Business Podcast, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you, working with you, and help you grow your business with your new business podcast. Thank you very much. Thank you for being with me in the American Business Podcast. If you'd like to be a guest in the American Business Podcast, please send us an email, guestbooking@americanpodcast.tv. If you'd like to sponsor ABP, if you'd like to advertise in our podcast episodes, please send us an email, growyourbusiness@americanpodcast.tv. You can advertise your company, your products, your services, and your brands in the American Business Podcast. Please send us an email, growyourbusiness@americanpodcast.tv. You can also visit our website, americanpodcast.tv, to learn more about the American Business Podcast as well as our coming streaming schedule. Now you can have your branded company podcast within the American Business Podcast network. We call it Business Podcasting as a Service, PaaS. If you're interested in starting your business podcast in the American Business Podcast network, please send us an email, paas@americanpodcast.tv. As part of our international expansion, we started international podcast editions. When you scan this QR code, it'll take you to our YouTube page. And please go to the podcast section in our YouTube page and you'll see our international podcast editions. They are ABP Espanol, ABP German, ABP French, ABP Hindi, ABP Portuguese, and ABP Turk, that you can listen to American Business Podcast in 6 different foreign languages. Okay, well, we are in the process of increasing our presence in social media. If you're on LinkedIn, please scan this QR code and subscribe, follow us on LinkedIn. If you're on TikTok, please scan this QR code. It'll take you to our TikTok page. Please subscribe. Please follow us. If you are on Instagram, please scan this QR code. It'll take you to our Instagram page and please subscribe. If you are on Facebook, we'll also appreciate your help and support. Please scan this QR code. It'll take you to our Facebook page and please follow us. And finally, we are on IMDb next to other reputable media productions. Please scan this QR code, go to our IMDb page, and please rate us on IMDb. We'll truly appreciate your help and support. I'd like to thank you for your help. Thank you for your support. I'm looking forward to seeing you in coming The American Business Podcast episodes. The American Business Podcast is the voice of American business. The American Business Podcast, America's fastest growing educational business podcast network in this age of AI. Thank you very much for your help and looking forward to seeing you. Thank you.